easy, simple, but it's going to be a nice, gentle, sort of basic flow. So at the end, we are going to lift legs up into the air. So if you have a yoga block, great, but I imagine a lot of you don't, and that's totally fine. So something that would give you a good few inches off of the mat. So this is just a rolled up weighted blanket. You could take a bed pillow, a couple of cushions, stack them on top of each other, but just something to bring the hips a little bit of height. And I'll give you a moment to collect that. We're going to begin class today standing. So you can come onto your mat, face forward, let the feet rest wherever they're comfortable. They can be separated or closer together, but bring the toes slightly in. You'll feel the thigh bones come slightly in, and the side edge of your feet is somewhat parallel to the long edges of your mat. So just working more of a neutral hip alignment. Arms can simply rest down by your sides, or you press hands at heart center. Close the eyes, or set a soft gaze out in front of you, not looking at anything. Take a deep breath in, and sigh that air out. Notice the feet for a moment. See where a lot of the weight is in the feet. They tend to be back in the heels and wide towards the pinky edges. So take a couple of moments to rock forward, lift the heels, and then rock back, lift the toes. Take a couple more of that so you can start to feel the whole surface of the foot. And then pause right in the center where the toes and the heels are evenly grounded. And then also shift some weight towards the arches of the feet, so not all the weight is sinking towards the pinky edge. Give the toes a spread and try to land each toe down on the mat. Stay here, take another big breath in through the nose, and sigh it out. Press the feet down into the mat, and at the same time, lift the crown of the head towards your ceiling, so you're standing as tall as you can. Soften the shoulders. And then we'll take 3 arm circles. So let the arms rest down by your sides, palms are spun forward. And then an inhale to press the arms back, sweep up, gaze is going to lift, eyes will open, and exhale, hands to heart center. 2 more of those. A breath in to reach back and then out and up. And exhale, release. Last one, inhale. And exhale. Heel toe the feet wider, now more towards the edges of the mat. Sweep the arms up. Bend the knees deeply. Rest the elbows on the thighs. Gaze underneath you. So you can stay here in a very tall squat, forward fold, or you release the elbows down and you take a ragdoll, taking a hold of opposite elbows. Have a deep bend in the knees. Try to feel the lungs expand into the tops of the thighs. And then you can take some movements here, some swaying. Shifting around in the feet again. Look all the way underneath you so the neck is long and released. And then palms come all the way down to the mat. So spread your fingers as wide as you can and take each foot to the back of the mat to find your high plank pose. From high plank pose, we'll go straight to downward facing dog. The hips can go high, and you take a little half step in with the feet. Then bend deeply through both of the knees, just like you were in ragdoll. And one at a time, so lower that right heel down on an exhale. Inhale, lift that right heel again. And now other side, exhale, left heel down. And inhale up. So you can take a couple more there, side to side. Finding some length at the backs of the legs. Beginning to now pause. You can still have the heels lifted and the knees bent to find your first downward facing dog. Now let's glide out to that high plank pose again. So your shoulders are over wrists. You might have to wiggle the toes back so you're nice and tall in the heels. And now we're going to do some dynamic work. So high plank pose is your inhale. Exhale, hips high. Try to take that right hand and tap somewhere along that left leg. Inhale takes you back out, high plank pose. And then exhale, try to lift and reach over to the right. Inhale, high plank. Exhale, touch left leg. Inhale, plank. And exhale, tap right. One more each side. Inhale. Exhale to the left. Inhale. Exhale to the right. Inhale, plank. Lower the knees down to the mat. And find your first child's pose. So the hips can sink down towards the heels. The forehead approaches the mat. It could also approach a blanket or a pillow. You could also pause on forearms. Take some deep breaths here. Then let's come through to downward facing dog. Relift the hips, settle in. And then let's take it to the top of the mat. So lift heels, bend knees, look forward, take a hop or a step, and then an exhale to fold. Inhale, sweeps the arms up overhead, and exhale, hands heart center. So we'll come into a chair pose, bend into the knees, and sweep the arms up, framing the head. Make sure the weight is rested in the heels and that you're not back bending here, but you're really drawing the navel in so you have a nice flat back. Exhale, hands to heart center, and just sink a little more into the hips and bend the knees. We're gonna move between a taller chair and a lower chair. So inhale, extend up, straighten those legs, and exhale, take it into your lower chair. Inhale to reach up, and exhale to bend. This time, inhale, straighten up, optional lift the heels, and exhale to lower. Couple more. Inhale, rise up, and exhale, lower. Last one, inhale, and exhale. Pause in this low chair pose. Heart is lifted, toes are light, and then all the way to straight legs. Come back up, feel free to pedal and shake out the legs. Then let's basket the hands behind the head, so support your head and neck here. And what's going to happen is your right elbow is going to lift up towards the ceiling, keeping this basket interlaced with the hands, and the left elbow falls towards the left. So you can really press the head back into that right elbow, bend into the knees, revisit your chair pose, and exhale, take a side lean over towards the left. So a big stretch for your right side. Straighten the legs, bring the hands back to behind the head, press the elbows back. This time, you're going to take this right leg, extend it out in front of you, and cross it over the left. So you can separate the feet. Now take the left elbow up towards the ceiling and let the right elbow fall off the side. Bend into your right knee, and then take your side lean now in the opposite direction so you get a nice stretch now for your left side. Keep sending that right hip forward. It wants to swing back. Inhale back to center. Hands can release to the hips, and we're going to hop to bring the feet together. So a little bend, and then return to the top of the mat. Breath in takes the arms up overhead, And the breath out to forward fold. Take a step back, find your high plank pose, and we'll take our first low plank. So glide forward, bend the elbows just halfway, chaturanga. Tops of the feet, press down, pull heart forward, upward face, and then hips high, downward facing dog. Right leg will pick up into the air, three-legged dog, and then spin that hip open. You can bend into your right knee, but try to lower your right shoulder towards the mat to help get a deeper twist. Left heel is still pretty heavy towards the mat. You're trying to lift that right knee higher. Now re-straighten that right leg. Take a look forward and a big step, right foot inside your right thumb. Wiggle those left toes further behind you and then take it all the way up to your high lunge. Exhale to your warrior two. Drop that left heel down. The arms go wide. Keep that nice bend in your front knee and also press that left pinky edge of your foot down. Straighten your front leg. Flip this front palm. Take this right hand and half basket behind your head. Press that right elbow back. Left hand is going to glide down that left leg as you reach right elbow higher and keep pressing that right elbow back. Extend that right arm all the way back for a moment and then come back through. Hands to hips. Take these right toes and angle them in so you've got parallel feet. Now I'm just going to spin around so that you can better see me. And we're going to now let the heels kick in. So you've got your goddess alignment. Take a bend into the knees. Toes are pretty light here, more weight into the heels. Bend at the elbows and bring your forearms into touch. You can stay here, squeezing those elbows in, or the right elbow dips underneath the left and you work towards an eagle wrap. Try to lift the elbows a little higher. Press those arms away from your face. And then inhale, lift the elbows as well as your gaze. And on the exhale, we're going to dip down. Try to touch the mat with those fingertips. Inhale, lift all the way up and back. And exhale to take the fold. Inhale. And exhale. One more inhale. And exhale. Inhale, come upright. Unwind the arms nice and wide. Hands to hips. And straighten those legs. Once again, kick the heels out so that the toes are in, and we'll take this into a forward fold. Lift the chest, inhale, and exhale to take your dive down. Hands will find the mat. Press the mat away from you. Long spine, shoulders out of the ears, and then you might bend the elbows as you walk the hands closer to in line with the feet. Check in now that the weight isn't all in the heels. The toes shouldn't be super light here. Then let's come to straight arms again. Really press the mat away from you. Feel a nice stretch at the backs of the legs. Right hand is going to stay underneath your nose. Left hand comes to the small of the back. Now take a peek over towards the left. Feel those hips that they're in a nice even plane. Try not to shift the hips around. Tap your left fingers down to the mat and then extend that left arm up towards the ceiling. Now, if that's not comfortable stacking the shoulders, then you can keep that left hand on the small of your back. Now let's take that left arm, thread it underneath the right one. Walk the right hand out in front of you. And that left hand is either going to reach somewhere for the right foot. You could also just rest the back of the hand down with the palm facing the ceiling. Release both hands out in front of you and walk the hands closer to the mat. Press the mat away, inhale, and hands come up to the hips. Come all the way up to standing on that inhale breath. I'm gonna flip back around so we can come into your triangle pose. So let's have those right toes reface forward. You might heel step that back foot in closer. Arms go wide. Now let the half basket that left hand behind the head and press that left elbow back. Reach the right arm out long, and then it just slides inside that right leg. I want you to lift that left elbow to the ceiling and also press it back. So you're opening up your chest, resist your back bend, and take a couple breaths in this variation of triangle pose. Inhale, come up, extend both arms. Exhale, step it all the way forward to the top of your mat. Connect the hands and the toes. Tree pose on the right side. Take a hold of right knee. Open that leg out towards the side. Land that foot anywhere on the inseam of left leg. Just don't press it right on your knee joint. Hands find heart center. Option to take this into a back bend. So you can sweep the arms up overhead, finding hands basket behind the head. Lift the chest, extend the arms back, and you would lift the chest even higher. Gaze can rise. Keep opening that right knee to the side. Back to center, hands to heart. Extend right leg forward, and then land it on the mat. Figure four, the other side. So a little bend in both knees. Left ankle will touch that right thigh. Sit up nice and tall, and then you can take it lower. So you think about sitting in a lower chair, the hips press back, but you're not just forward folding, you're still finding lift in the chest. You should feel sensation in that left outer hip. Inhale takes you right back up. Extend that left leg and return both feet to the mat. Vinyasa, arms up on the inhale and dive forward on the exhale. Step back, inhale plank, and exhale low plank. Upward facing dog breath in and downward facing dog exhale. Let's look forward. Take a hop or a step, feet to hands. And then your exhale is to fold. Inhale, come right back up. And exhale your side body. So we're going to start basketing the hands behind your head. Now take the opposite thumb on top. So it might not feel as symmetrical, but we're getting into that other side. Take the left elbow, allow it to lift up towards the ceiling as you drop that right elbow just off the side. Then you can really cradle the head into that left elbow, press the head back. Take a bend into the knees, you've got a tall chair pose, and then exhale, drop that right elbow further towards the right as you find length in left side. Straighten the legs. Now bring the hands directly behind your head. Extend your left leg and cross it over the right one. So you can find some space between the feet, all 10 toes face forward. Bend into your left knee, and now let the left elbow fall towards the left and cradle the head in the right elbow. Lift up, inhale, and now take your side lean over towards the left. Re-straighten that left leg, come back to center, hands behind the head, and then rest the hands to the hips. So we'll take a little jump step to come back to parallel feet. Now, chair pose. Bend the knees, extend the arms. We're going to take 2 rounds of that dynamic movement. So exhale, little lower, hands to heart. Inhale, straighten, option for tiptoe. And exhale, sink down. Inhale for the tiptoe. And exhale, lower chair. Option in this lower chair to find your heels lifted and the tiptoe chair pose. So fire up the tops of those legs. Find a different variation of balance. Then look forward, tent those fingertips down, and try to sink even lower into those hips. So if drawing the knees close together isn't working for you, you can find some space between the feet. But get as tight as you can, and the option to get a little taller here, trying to stack the shoulders over the hips and hands to heart center. Toes pose, strong legs, a nice stretch for the bottom of the feet. If you're with me, 2 circle sweeps. Inhale up and exhale down. Last one, inhale and exhale. Tent the fingertips out in front of you, lift the hips, drop those feet down, separate the feet, hands all the way to the mat. Let's take 1 knee at a time to find your tabletop, and then just kind of drum the tops of the feet into the mat to give the foot a break. Tuck the toes, press the hips high, and come to your downward face. Now you might wiggle the feet a little further behind you if coming from tabletop to dog feels a little short. Then allow your left leg to pick up, 3-legged dog. Stack the hips, try to press that left pinky toe higher, and then bend into the knee. Now notice if this right heel swings over with you to try to get further in the twist. You shouldn't see your heel. It should be hiding behind your ankle. Pick up that left knee a little higher, but drop your left shoulder. That's your true twist in the pose. Now straighten that left leg and step it forward. Setting up for your high lunge, wiggle those right toes back and then take it all the way up. Exhale is for your warrior 2. Soft gaze over those front fingertips. Now straighten that left knee. We're going to flip that left palm and just a half basket behind the head. Right hand finds that back leg. And as you dive up and back, also press that left elbow behind you. Gaze can be slightly lifted. Straighten that left arm for the back wall, 1 breath, and then come all the way back to 2 straight arms. Hands to hips, take these left toes and angle them in. So you've got parallel feet, and then we'll find the goddess feet. So your heels kick in. Find a bend into the knees. Soften the toes so the weight does sink into the heels here, and then bend the arms. Forearms come into touch. You can happily stay here, or that left goes underneath for your eagle wrap. If you've got your eagle wrap, extend through the fingers. Try to lift the elbows and then press the arms away from your face. A breath in to pick it up, inhale. And the exhale, we're reaching either those arms out forward or maybe even down towards the mat. Inhale, extend through your spine. And exhale, flex your spine. Twice more, inhale. And exhale. Last one in. And exhale. Then inhale, come all the way back up. Extend through the arms, hands to hips, and then straighten those legs. Let's kick the heels out one more time. So you've got now parallel feet with the short edges of your mat. Let's take arms wide. Exhale to take the arms behind you. Find this interlace, knuckles face down. Lift the chest, breath in. And the exhale, keep leaning out with your chest. Head is the last thing to come down. Knuckles may rise towards the ceiling. Try to squeeze the heels of the palm together. Release the head for one last breath. And then come up about halfway so you can release the hands back down to the mat. Now really press straight arms. Feel the weight evenly through the feet. And now your left hand is underneath your face. Right hand to your low back. Take a little lean out to make sure the weight is even in the feet. And now take a twist towards the right. Keep the hips where they are. Right fingertips tap down to the floor. And then you extend that arm out like a wing. If that's not working for your shoulder, the hand can stay on the hip. Now let's thread the needle. Right arm underneath the left one. And you walk that left hand out in front of you to give you more space. That right hand, you can bring the back of the palm all the way down to the mat. Or you might be able to reach somewhere along that left leg. Right hand releases to meet the left one. And then walk the hands back underneath your shoulders. Press the mat away, inhale. And exhale, hands to hips. Inhale, breath takes you all the way up. And exhale, let's bring these left toes to face forward. And the right foot heel toes in just a little bit. Triangle pose, so the arm variation. Let's start with the arms wide. Then half basket that right hand behind your head. Reach out, glide out. Left hand is very light inside the leg. Right elbow reaches up and even back. So notice if the belly is just pressing forward and not doing anything. Really hug it in. You should feel the outer hip working, the low back, the core working to keep you in line. And then extend that right arm to pull you all the way up. Hands to hips. Look forward and step. Right foot meets that left foot, top of the mat. Let's take that tree pose, other side. So now you take your left knee, open it out towards the left, and land that foot inside right leg. Hands to heart. Furthermore, you can basket the hands behind your head. Press the elbows back. Take a look up. And chest a little higher, you might add extension of the spine with a back bend. Back to center, hands to heart, left leg forward, and then drop it down. Figure 4 to the other side. So you start with a pretty tall chair pose, and then that right ankle on top of your left thigh. You can stay here working the balance. If you take it lower, you get more into your right outer hip over time. You could come as low as elbows or forearms resting on that right calf. Take an inhale to straighten up. Extend that right leg and then land. Pedal it up. Let's take it up. Inhale, sweep, Urdhva Hastasana. And take a dive forward. Exhale, Uttanasana. Inhale to find your high plank pose. And then exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana. So take it a low plank. Upward facing dog. Pull your heart forward. And downward facing dog. Next, we're going to come to sit and find Dandasana. So Dandasana is staff pose. Imagine you are standing on the floor, so the feet are nice and flexed, toe mounds touching, but a little opening at the heels. So that's that neutral alignment for the hips again, just like how we opened class. Now the hands can press straight down on the mat, or you can flip them up for a release. They aren't holding you up though, your core is keeping you upright. Draw the shoulder blades back, sit up tall, breath in, and then a chin lock. Chin towards the chest, gaze is down, gaze at the breath. Watch it rise and fall. And then look forward. Let's take a hold of this right foot, place it to the inner left thigh so you've got your seated tree pose. Arms up, inhale. Exhale, twist to that right knee. Let's drop the left hand down and reach the right arm all the way behind you. So feel this twist. Now keep your twist, right arm up to the ear, and then it leans towards the side. So you've got that side body stretch once again. Then return that right arm up, and right hand drops down behind you. Left arm now up in its place. So you could just reach that left arm up and back, getting some spinal extension, or you lift the hips. The right shin stays down. You could bring the left foot down and press those hips high to the ceiling. Return those hips down, face forward, so you've got your seated tree pose, and then we'll take the forward fold. So just turn your body to face the left leg, and then take your walk down. Toes are pressing towards you, heel is pressing forward. And notice if that right shoulder is higher than the left one. You might need to drop the right shoulder so that you're even in your fold. The inhale to look forward, and then the exhale to walk yourself up. So let's swap and straighten the right leg out. Now just pull your left foot back so that the knee is lifted up towards the ceiling. We're going to take the right hand wide and the left arm up. Left hand is going to reach forward and the arm is inside that left leg. Now left foot can step wider to accommodate some space. And now that right hand is going to come forward as well. So active right foot, squeeze that left knee into your left arm. Now you could go towards a bind here where the arms go wide and then they could wrap around the low back. So if you lose this left knee and it just splays to the side, you can keep reaching forward. If you've got your bind, keep it. If not, let's all take that right arm or half bind around the low back and that left hand to the top of that left shin. We'll all take a lean back, pick up that left foot, and then a little more, lift chest. Maybe that right leg comes to a float for 3, 2, and 1. Land both of the feet, Unravel your arms, straighten that left leg, and give a nice release out. Cross the ankles, roll forward, or come through tabletop, another way that works for your body. Take a high step back, plank pose, and exhale, low plank. Push up, inhale, and downward facing dog, exhale. Let's look forward and return to sit. So this time we'll come into that tree pose on the left side. So you take your left foot to your inner right thigh. Right leg is in line with your hips, so nice straight line. Sweep up on the inhale. Twist left. Right hand comes down. Left arm reaches back. You're sitting up nice and tall. Keep this twist. Left arm up by the ear, and then you fold over that right hip to get a stretch for your left side. Left arm back up, and then that hand drops all the way behind you. Right arm now up in its place, and again, you can just simply reach that right arm back, or you take it a little further by lifting those hips. Left shin stays down, maybe you ground your right foot, press those hips higher, reach the right arm back. And then the hips can fall all the way down. Let's reface forward, align the legs for that tree pose, but now you're turning the whole body over towards that right foot, sit tall, and take a little lean out for your fold. Notice if that left shoulder is hiked up, try to angle it down. Look forward and walk yourself back upright. So let's swap by straightening the left leg and then pull the right foot back so that the knee is lifted straight up towards the ceiling. So this is working towards a Marichyasana forward fold. So listen to your body. Right foot goes wider, left hand out, and right arm up. So you're folding inside that right leg. Squeeze the knee against your arm, fingertips down, and then the left hand meets you, and you can really round here, looking down. Keep pressing the knee into the shoulder. Now, if you're far enough into the fold and the shoulder's in front of your knee, those arms can likely go wide. Working towards a bind, they meet around your low back, but everyone is still forward folding, forehead to the mat. If you don't have the bind, let's all take right hand to right shin and left arm wrapping around your low back. Let's sit up, take your right foot with you, and then a variation of a boat pose. So a strong left leg, as straight as you can get it for 3, 2, and 1. Lower both feet down, unravel your bind, straighten that right leg out, and give both legs a tap. Let's come forward. Hands to the top of the mat. Step, step, plank pose. Exhale, low plank. Upward face, breath in. Downward face, breath out. Now let's come to sit again. This time you should have that pillow or rolled up blanket that we talked about at the very start of class. Have it just by your side, so right next to your hips. We're going to come lay down from here. So you'll lay down, you'll keep a bend into the knees, so it's like your bridge pose. Lift the hips and slide what you're using right underneath your hips. And then you should feel it be pretty even so you can adjust as you need. Arms are down by your sides now. And then let's lift the feet at the same time all the way up into the air. Take these next few moments to move around and adjust the hips and your prop as needed. And then once you have settled, the arms can rest down by your sides. Find some circling in the ankles and some moving around of each toe. This is supported shoulder stand. So you can either gaze at the feet that will begin to settle down and find stillness, or you can close the eyes. So this is a pose that is really great for everything that's going on in the world right now. So it's crazy times. Energy is all over the place. So this is a very calming pose. If you do this pose near the end of the day, it can aid with sleep and anxiety. Just feel the blood flow in an opposite direction. And take a few more breaths here. So now we'll find some dynamic work. So keeping the legs straight, see if you can lower that right leg all the way down so that the heel touches the top end of your mat. And you should feel a stretch along the top of your right hip. So that's your hip flexor. Pick that right leg back up and then keep that left leg straight and see if that heel can tap down. You'll likely feel some fuzziness in the feet as the blood is shifting around. And then that left leg back up. So with your next exhale, let that right heel drop down. Inhale, pick that leg back up. Exhale the left leg down. And inhale, pick back up. Let's take 2 more each side. So really focus on your breath. We'll meet with both legs in the air. And then allow the knees to bend. Allow the feet to touch back down to the mat. Once the feet are grounded, take them for a walk forward. So both heels down to the mat. Both legs are straight. So you might feel this back bend, this stretch of the top of the hips. You can pull the feet back as much as needed to support your low back. One last piece, the arms can reach all the way for the back wall. And let's bring the hands back to center. Both feet back to the mat. Press the feet down, lift your hips, and you can remove your prop. Let the hips settle back down and hug the knees at center. Draw some circles one direction and the other to get into your low back. And then keep your right knee hugged in and let the left leg just go long on the mat. So this is another low back stretch. Really pulling that knee into the body. And then take that knee across your body in a spinal twist. The right arm opens out to the side and your gaze can follow. If that right foot feels like it's just dangling in space and it's not all the way to the mat or to the floor, rather, you could take those toes and just tuck them to the inseam of that left leg. It gives a landing spot that might be more comfortable. Roll onto your back, re-extend that right leg. You can basket behind that leg, find some movement again in the ankle. And then let's swap. So straighten that right leg, hug that left knee in. And then find your twist. So you might tuck those toes behind the right leg, knee goes to the right, left arm out, and your gaze can follow. Face forward again, re-straighten that left leg, holding behind, finding a couple more movements. And then hug both knees in, a little rock side to side. Happy baby. We'll end class with this pose, feet facing the ceiling, drawing the knees to the outside ribs. You can give a rock around here. And then begin to settle into your Shavasana. So you can wrap the arms around the legs, squeeze up into a little ball, and then release. The arms can go wide, the legs can go long. If you are feeling the body cooling down, putting a blanket on or an extra layer to rest here for a few minutes. Allow the eyes to close, the body to soften. The only thing you need to do now is breathe.